to Tuesday's Monday Market Outlook, or Tuesday's Market SITREP here at Top Gun Options. Matthew Buckley, my call sign is Wiz, and we just knocked out a great joint weekly options and primary live trade brief because obviously the market was closed yesterday. Didn't put on a weekly options trade because we have the State of the Union coming up. Have a out of the gate, rip your face off rally on a Tuesday in a holiday shortened week. Little leery here. I think we're going to channel going to the State of the Union next week, where we should get that huge tax announcement, or just what's going on in Trump's mind, which seems to change by the minute. But let me start with a quick strategic brief because there are a lot of things going on. Our FXI positions over there in China looking good. The Hang Seng, the Shanghai, the Nikkei, all looking pretty good. The blue chips, especially the financials over in China, really catching a bid. We're seeing a lot of institutional buying from some of their their pension funds and stuff like that. That to me signals that the Chinese think that they've kind of bottomed out and that they're climbing out of this. Their little morass they've been in for about a year. So very, very bullish on the FXI. But as we do with everything here at Top Gun Options, any position we take a look at, you have to red team it. You just don't sit here with a cowbell and an air horn like some people and say, mortgage your house, get rid of the kids, sell the kids, and get in this trade. How could it get wrong? How could it go wrong is the Carl Vinson battle group, folks. President Obama, one of the worst things of his presidency was allowing China to pick up Chinese dirt, sail 600 miles off their coast, dump it on an atoll at low tide, build a runway, put some fighter aircraft, bomber aircraft, surface-to-air missiles on there and say, New China, 600 miles out. Folks, this is going to end badly. If you slept through Obama's 8 years and didn't see really what he wasn't doing, let alone was, he didn't stop or do anything about this. Now that China thinks that they control essentially the Pacific Ocean, what are we going to do? So the Vinson Battle Group is going to conduct freedom of navigation exercises, and they're actually going to recognize the 12-mile international limits off of these atolls or these man-made islands. I don't know, man. So this has me worried about the China trades because things go bump in the night. The EP3 in the year, was it 2002-ish? I forget when it was, bumped in a Chinese fighter jet, and, aviation is a self-cleaning oven. That dude got killed. EP3 lands. They get all of our intel out of that thing. Guy gets an air medal when he should have been court-martialed, and he, ran for governor or somewhere? Whatever. But things go bump in the night, folks. China said, hey, this is our territory. The Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, Korea, Japan, all also say they own a lot of this stuff. It's going to get bad. So even with being bullish on China, look at what could potentially go wrong. Brazil, our Brazil ETF, Brazil ETFs are piping hot. Time to buy. Our EWZ, we've been trading the EWZ since the World Cup, the Olympics. We've been trading about 3, 4, 5 years. The EWZ that we've been in is up over 100% as of February 14, 2017, a year ago. And it's up 17% year to date. Our EWZ trade is up 32.5% year to date, up $4,500. The EWZ I would still get into. I'm not a huge commodities guy, but big iron ore movements out of Brazil. It's got a lot of commodities and just a lot of dirt and stuff. And obviously it's an oil trade too. But they got rid of Dilma. They're looking for trying to get out of this recession-stricken economy by doing what? Easing inflationary quantitative easing. Let me just say it that way. They're trying to do a mini United States. Whether it works or not, who cares, says Gordon Gekko. Same thing with this article in the New York Times I read with great interest. A lot of Brazilian cities are actually canceling Carnival, which is like treasonous in Brazil. But what's there to celebrate when you have billion-dollar stadiums that are empty, which they're going to most likely turn into a favela, right? I saw in this article that one of the police forces in one of their major towns went on strike. Murder rate like quadrupled in hours. It's like that movie, when they suspend law and you can do whatever you want. One of their demonstrations recently, the local police actually fired shots at the federal police. I think a guy got hit and wounded. Man, this is so. Again, just like with our China trade, with the Brazilian trade, we're going to red team it and say there's a lot of warts on this potential trade that could go south. But when you put on your Gordon Gekko Armani suit and say, I don't care, the EWZ is definitely a buy. Just like the RSX, our Russia trade, the RSX and the EWZ for the past year and a half has been blistering ETF trades, and we've been in both of them. Our RSX, our Russia position that we put on maybe a month ago or so, is up, what's that, about $1,200? Beats a stick in the eye, right? Okay. I talked about this for a while last week. This whole deep state thing is really worrying me. We did get Lieutenant General McMaster's over the weekend. If you know anything about the first Gulf War, he was the brave tank commander in charge of the 73 Eastings battle, where we're doing that left hook around the Iraqi forces who were convinced that we're going to do an amphibious assault. The devil dog. They hated that term, right? They were Allah fear, type of fear in their bodies about devil dogs and Marines landing ashore in Kuwait City, and here they come. As we did, kind of a patent fake from World War II, and we just did the end around. But Lieutenant Colonel McMaster's led like 9 or however many tanks and totally destroyed 30-some, whatever the number is. Just an absolute incredible tank battle out there in the middle of the desert. So he's going to be our national security advisor, but this still creeps me out, folks, that Flynn got clipped by the deep state, man. There are people in this government, Obama holdovers, or it's treasonous, folks. So I really hope they do get to the bottom of the leaks, and whoever got Flynn clipped goes to jail for treason. So I'm keeping an eye on that stuff. That's the stuff that really worries me about this rally faltering. It's not the fundamentals. It's not the technicals. It's not what's going on in the economy. It's the government. I never thought I'd be briefing stuff like this, so that's why I'm worried. Because after that, you look at something like this. Trump took himself on the road. Why? Because he's done with the media, man. He's going to, he did more or less campaign-style events. Again, they're packed with people. He's taking his message directly to the people. So while I'm going to tell you what Goldman Sachs and J.P. Morgan are doing with their crocodile tears, Americans are brimming with optimism about the economy. It's great. So we're all thinking everything's great, but here comes here comes Goldman Sachs to put a damp blanket on it. And let me brief you about that. But it's funny, folks. The only people supporting Donald Trump right now are the people who voted for him. It ain't the opposition who on President's Day, it's pretty ironic. I didn't think he was your president, so on President's Day are you protesting against the president? But all the folks who voted for him said, what are you people, stupid? We voted for him because he said he was going to do these things, and he's doing them. So that's another reason that a lot of people are bullish, is we actually have he's not a politician, a guy in the office who's doing what he said he's going to do. But here we go. Here comes Goldman Sachs, who, again, they got everything wrong. They didn't get the election right. They said Hillary will win. If Trump wins, the market implodes. Wrong. They said sell the inauguration. They were wrong. They've been wrong so much lately about everything. The reason they're trying to talk this market down, I think, is because they're probably short the market. That's Google Rolling Stone vampire squid article. They called Goldman Sachs a huge vampire squid sucking on America's face here. But I guess when 4 of your heavies leave, 2 are in the cabinet and 2 are senior advisors to Trump, I guess when those folks leave, the adult supervision leaves, and Goldman Sachs is just trying to pound this market into the ground. 3 things are about to derail Trump's fiscal plan, Goldman Sachs plan. Investors will soon realize they were too optimistic. Give it a break, Goldman. I love Goldman Sachs. You guys know that. Take a look at our 2 positions in Goldman Sachs. I have one that I put on in December, so 3 months. This trade's up $12,000, a long call diagonal. $4,000 a month this trade is averaging. And this one I put on last month, $2,600. Love Goldman Sachs, love my J.P. Morgan, but guys, gals, you're wrong. Okay, you're just absolutely wrong. J.P. Morgan, their head quant or vol guy. Vol is about to return and could lead to accidents. So again, folks, the quote smart money that missed everything on the left side of this chart when Top Gun Options nailed it is trying to, again, get you to believe them. You're Muppets, right? Remember that famous email or whatever that Goldman Sachs essentially calls you guys Muppets. We manipulate you and you listen to us. We're not a TGO. We're doing the exact opposite of what the smart money's telling you to do, mainly because they're not so smart. And look at this. If there is going to be any impact from that quote travel ban, it's not even going to hit the economy for at least a year. So this little this pullback, you see this, here's the inauguration. When Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan said sell the inauguration, we didn't. I said we're going up. Well, we went up and then we pulled back. Oh my God, see, you were wrong. This travel ban is, I'm like, whatever. We're staying long. That will be an old story in 2 days. It was old. And it was about 3 days because it went to another court. Who cares? It was old. It was kind of like the Brexit. I said this thing will be done in a week. I was wrong. It was done in about 3 days. We were done talking about it. So I need to shorten my time frame. I'm still right, but man, I need to shorten things up. So here's where we are. We're having a blast here at Top Gun Options. If you can't tell, put on a new bull put spread on ExxonMobil. I think it hit a double bottom here. Just a quick trade out to March 10th, potentially making $1,500 with a 72% probability using at-the-money volatility. And we're having a great time here, folks. All of our trades are looking great. Time to look at a hedge, though, man, especially with the I think the inauguration, the State of the Union speech could be a sell the news event. And if he doesn't come out and print money on taxes in that and repeal Obamacare and fire up everybody, we might see a little bit of a pullback here, okay? And again, I'm sitting on my hands a little bit, waiting potentially to look at a bull put spread, a weekly options trade. Remember, I don't have to force it in one of our live trading sessions. I can send it out whenever. I can do one on Friday morning if we needed to on SPX. But for now, keep my powder dry a little bit because this rally today, remember, market up, VIX up, something is up. And earlier the VIX was up a couple percent. It's still up 2% right now as the market is up. Market up, VIX up, something's up. The something that is up is that the quote smart money didn't believe in this, right? They're saying, hey, vol's pretty cheap right now. Let me go get some protection while it's cheap, because when you need it, it's not going to be cheap. Hurricane insurance to South Florida, you get it on a beautiful sunny day, not when there's a tropical depression over the Bahamas. It's a little late, okay? So I got to run. Go to our homepage, topgunoptions.com, if you want to take a test flight into any of our services here at TGO. 2-week test flight. It really ain't enough to see what we do, but it'll at least whet your appetite to show you what we do. Scroll down, beginner, intermediate, advanced, as to the type of trader you are, and you can take a test flight with us, okay? I got to run. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and I'll be back with Wednesday's market sit rep tomorrow. We'll see you.